Hello everyone! My name is Dove Lee, but you may call me Dove, and welcome to my first ever video, and welcome to Lotus Pond. This is my Animal Crossing island that I restarted, I want to say actually probably over a year ago now. Originally I was streaming this island, on Twitch, but for various physical and mental health reasons, I haven't been streaming on there for a few months. And with the new update coming out really soon, and seeing some other content from some Animal Crossing creators, I got really inspired to return to this island. And I kind of have a new approach for playing on this island. I think the best way to describe it is kind of treating it like an island I can design, save a dream address, and then restart. You see, my first ever Animal Crossing New Horizons island does not exist anymore. I lost it a long time ago because of a glitch, I'm pretty sure. And for a while I stopped playing after I lost it. And I restarted, didn't have really the heart to continue playing, and then I restarted again for stream. And I kind of struggled with staying motivated, but I feel like if I approach it as a thing that I can restart and replay repeatedly, I think it'll be something that I'll really enjoy. To be able to explore different aesthetics and like have different villagers and all kinds of things, build different things, I think it'd be lots of fun. So, I probably should have changed this season to be like summer or something so you'd actually get a better understanding of what the island is supposed to look like. But it'll be fine for now. This is a Lotus Pond. Here is the map for right now. So as you can see, there's really not a lot of work that's been done on it. But if you look at my villager list, you might be able to kind of tell what the vibes are. I want a swampy frog island is essentially my goal. So we have a few villagers to get rid of. And we do have a pretty decent amount of frogs. I think the most stuff I've done when I was streaming was villager hunting. I did quite a lot of frog villager hunting. So I have 5 frogs and a toad, which I think is funny. So because I'm treating this kind of like a design and then restart type of thing, I want to change up a lot of the stuff that I've already done. So for example, I did a lot of the stuff of like, oh, here's the campsite, little campsite area. I have like flowers all over the place, but I think that's just part of Animal Crossing. I have a shopping center, but I don't want the island to be super like city town vibes. I want it to be very swamp, very overgrown, very green, very mossy. I do like the idea of there being like a somewhat more lived in area here up at the front. But especially as you get further back, I want it to be super swampy, super green, moss, trees, all kinds of stuff everywhere. But I'll talk more about like design ideas in a little bit after this little tour. So more flowers over here. Oh yeah, and here's like an orchard that I started. And again, same thing. I don't really... Oh, hey. I don't really care to have an orchard in... Oh my god. Oh my god. I was not anticipating this. Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess we're doing a frog hunt soon. Um, okay. Well, I guess we're doing a frog hunt. Anyway, I was not expecting that. Um, but yeah, I have this orchard, but an orchard doesn't really like fit the vibes that I'm thinking of in my brain, so I want to get rid of that. And then of course this is like a temporary farm anyway, so I'll probably have some farmland as I set it up, but this was just here for like money purposes whenever I was streaming it. And of course we have the museum, which I think would be super cute, looking like overgrown and things. I do wish that I had changed the season so you could actually see the green over here, like what I intend for it. But see, like the little mushrooms, the glowing moss items, you know, stuff like that. Even the bamboo looks really nice. The vines and everything. When it's actually green, it looks really nice. I'll show it with like, I'll show it with green at some point. Well, like, I guess I can't now because someone's leaving. But you know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So that's like the biggest things that I have designed. Like I said, a lot of the things that I did on stream was like, I was kind of at the time treating it like a, people call it like a forever world, quote unquote. Oh, there's also these guys. That's my collection, don't worry about it. Originally I was treating this like a forever world type of vibe, but I don't really think that a forever world is something that I'm interested in doing as of right now. That's not to say that I won't at some point, but as of right now I really, really, really like the idea of designing new islands and like having a lot of fun with new themes and new villagers and stuff like that. So I think that would be a lot of fun to do with this, and I didn't want to like abandon what I'd started because I do really like the concept of a swampy island of frogs. So I figured that if I started making a series out of it instead of streaming it, I would actually dedicate my time to it, and I'm really excited to do it. I just need to. I've just had a lot going on, the holidays, all that stuff. So I've decided to finally lock in. Of course, this is my house. It's a little bit of a mess. It's kind of sort of put together in here. I think the bedroom is probably the most put together room. I still might redesign it a little bit, but this was like the most put together room that I've got. And then over here we have the kitchen, but it's not really a kitchen. It's more so I threw a bunch of stuff in here that was kitchen items and was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this a kitchen. And then I haven't played in a while. So that will be a kitchen. But yeah, that's where things are currently on the island. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit about my plans, like my design plans, my ideas for how to handle the map and like terraforming and things like that. Just what I've got in my brain as far as what's gonna be built and all that fun stuff. So here we have the map. I took this screenshot a while back technically, but it's still essentially the same. I don't think I've changed anything. That's why Red's not there, even though he's on my island currently. But so my plan, I'm thinking, is I do like having the rivers connect here. And I like how it kind of separates this part. I thought that this area could be the more like town-esque area. It won't be like specifically a town, but it'll have more of like designated pathways and like shopping areas and stuff like that. Maybe a little like touristy things on the beaches or something. I'm also thinking maybe a villager or two could be here, like maybe Jambette or Gigi, the two icons, you know. I do want the museum moved somewhere else. I'm not quite sure where yet, but that's what I'm thinking about for here. Oh, yeah? Okay. I don't know if the mic picked that up. But that's my thoughts for here. I don't really know about this area and if I want to keep this as like the lower level. I might still and just kind of like extend this second level some out. Is what I'm thinking. To kind of have this like a strip. What would I put here? I'm not totally sure. But I think it could be cute to have some sort of thing here. And since my dock is right here, that means that's where with the new update, that's where the new building is going to go. That could be included in like a visitor type of area. So it would make sense for this to still be like kind of the more town quote unquote vibes. And it also opens up this whole beach as well to be connected. So that would be really interesting. See like what I turn the beaches into. And then I think that this second level will be very swampy, and I think like maybe the highest level will be like the swampiest. So I'm thinking still keeping like a section here. I want to work kind of with the natural terrain just to make it a little bit easier on me because I'm still learning a lot with terraforming and everything. But it might also be fun to have like a section here. And then the one here could actually be where my house goes. I think that would be cool. So maybe my house, some of the frogs in these higher spots and in like the lower, and just surrounded by like trees. And I do still want to do like decorations outside of their house that fit like their personalities or like what I think they do, that kind of thing. I think that would be really fun. I kind of like the flow of the rivers. I may like adjust them a little bit with like how everything is going to be shaped, but I do like the idea of there being like this river leading up here and then this one. And I do want a pond, of course. Probably somewhere around here. Probably multiple ponds around. Now that I think about it, just little ponds scattered around would make a lot of sense, and like small rivers and everything would make sense too. I think that would be fun. I don't know about the campsite or the museum. I think I want them to be in the swampy area. I'm not entirely sure where yet, but I think it would be fun to kind of like have the museum like buried in the trees and everything. And the campsite, I mean, like really embracing the natural terrain and going like camping. Now, there is a house here currently. I don't remember whose house this actually is, but I think it would be very silly if Wart Jr. lived here because he's a toad in a frog island. And I think it would be funny if he kind of lived out here in his own like secret area. Not really secret, but like tucked away. He can keep dry over here and kind of just like enjoy his space. He kind of gives me grumpy old man vibes when I look at his little face. He's such a cutie, but he kind of does give me grumpy old man vibes. So maybe he's just a grumpy old man who just wants his space, something like that. I don't know. But I think it would be silly if he was over here. So maybe we could do that. And as for this beach, I really don't know. The beaches are going to be a little bit difficult for me, I think, just because of like the theme I'm going for. So I'll have to look up some more like beach specific inspiration. I have lots of inspiration picks that I've gathered, but I think that beach specific ones are something that I need to work on. So that's like the basis of the idea. I think the first thing I would probably want to work on is the quote unquote air quotes town area, and get started on that section is probably where the first step will go. I want to talk a little bit more about like the item ideas that I have, and also like the villagers. I think I've been pretty like clear about the kind of vibes I'm going for as far as like furniture, designs, and everything like that is like swampy and green and overgrown. So mossy items, mushrooms, the glow moss items, stuff like that. Of course, like frog items, obviously, that kind of thing. But I'm also thinking like the overgrown, like weathered type of items. So like the walls and like the different items that just look like they've been outside for forever. I think that would be a lot of fun too. Living within the swamp rather than taking over the swamp is kind of the idea I have. But I know some of the items that I'm planning on. I mean, of course, like the obvious ones, like that I've already listed. But I'm definitely open to any suggestions if you have any ideas of items that I could include or that would make sense in the builds. Of course, I don't know every single item in the game despite having played this since the game came out. So I might miss something that would be like literally perfect. I did try to go through and like gather a bunch of stuff and like look at a bunch of stuff, but again, there's so many items in this game. Plus the update coming out, there's going to be even more. And I do have the DLC, so on top of that, there's those items as well. So there's just a lot. It's a lot. As far as villagers go, I do have a lot of frogs already. I have a list of the frogs I really want on the island, and thankfully I have gotten several of them, one of which was Wart Jr. So currently we have Henry, Gigi, Jambette, Puddles, Wart Jr., and Tad. And of those, Jambette and Puddles and Wart Jr. were ones that I really, really wanted. Some of the other ones I really want are Lily, Drift, Frobert, and Jeremiah. Those are like top tier frogs that I really want on the island. The next tier down had Gigi and Tad on it, but there's also Camafrog, Rattle, Diva, and Huck. So they're fine. They can come on the island. That's fine. The next tier down, Henry is on there, but my opinions might have changed a little bit after having him on the island because he is very cute. But I would kind of see what would happen on the different hunts as we try to replace the remaining non-frog villagers. But the other frog on that tier is Cousteau. And then the last tier is ones that I am not taking, and that is Broke, Prince, and Ribot. I don't want those frogs. Not my favorite frogs. Ribot, especially the robot villagers, kind of freak me out. I don't like them. Those are the ones that I don't really want on my island. They're not my favorites. So those will be who I'm hunting for. Obviously, the goals are going to be like the top tier ones that I really want. But I'm willing to take other frogs if needed. But I especially would really love to have Drift. I think Drift is such a fun design. I think he'd be really cool. So I think that about covers everything to show on current Lotus Pond. I was going to try and show the island in a summery, more green look, but now I have to go villager hunting, so I can't really do that. But that's okay. We can do that after the villager hunt. Next time... Oh, that's not the emote I meant to use. You know what? That's fine. Next time, we'll actually start working on the island and designing it and everything. And I'm really, really excited to actually get back into working on this island. I love the island theme and the ideas and everything that I have. If you want to stick around and see Lotus Island progress, maybe click the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great rest of your day or night, depending on what time zone you're in. Take care, and I'll see you all later. Okay, goodbye!